Joined now by the Republican Party of Wisconsin's chairman, Brian Schimming. Brian, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So Donald Trump, as you know, he's slated to speak with voters in La Crosse tomorrow. What are you hoping to hear from the former president? What messaging would resonate most, do you believe, with voters in your state?
Thanks for having me. I'll be with J.D. Vance tonight in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the president in La Crosse tomorrow night. And really, the economy is indeed number one in this state. No doubt about it. We've had accumulated over 20% inflation over the Biden-Harris term. Wisconsin's an old industrial Rust Belt state, so we've always had a lot of manufacturing, but have a lot of other industries as well. Working people are hurting in this state. And frankly, Joe Biden was pushed off the ticket because he knew he would lose Wisconsin. I think Donald Trump will win Wisconsin. I think Harris is on a little bit of a honeymoon here, a polling honeymoon after being the new candidate, then picking a vice president, and then the convention. But as I always say, on the honeymoon metaphor, at some point you check out of the hotel and go home. And I think as it gets more clear, where folks are on the issues, this race is going to be in a really good place.
So in terms of the economy specifically, since you mentioned it, what do you believe will be Trump's messaging tomorrow? What would be most effective in your view?
I think talking about everyday working people in this state. He'll be out, Kelly, in western Wisconsin, on the western part of the state, where Republicans picked up a congressional seat we hadn't held for 26 years, 2 years ago, with Congressman Van Orden. It's pocketbook issues out there. I always say there's a grocery store test on issues about the economy. The administration can put out fudge numbers all they want, but the truth of the matter is when people go to the grocery store and find themselves paying a lot more, not a little more, a lot more than they were 4 years ago, in a way, it's a comparison. It's Ronald Reagan's old question. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Kamala Harris needs to avoid having to answer that question because if she does, all the polling we see says that people feel as though they're worse off than they were under Donald Trump. And so for whatever honeymoon she's got right now, reality will hit soon.
So any moment now, Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz, he'll speak to Boston. He's talking there to firefighters in a union. He's courting these union voters now. With Wisconsin also having strong ties to unions, how are Republicans working to earn support from that voting bloc specifically?
I will tell you, I was just touring the state, actually, this past weekend. I did about 1,000 miles moving around the state. As I mentioned, I'll be in Green Bay tonight and La Crosse tomorrow. It's not so much of a union issue. I mean, working people I talk to clear across the state are hurting, and they're hurting badly. So I would recommend to the president, I will talk to him tomorrow, to talk directly to the pocketbook concerns of those working people. The economy, in fact, it's not really close. The economy is the #1 issue in Wisconsin by far. So I'll tell the president at the airport tomorrow afternoon, talk to people about their wallets, about their daily lives. Kind of the top 3 issues you see nationally are the economy, of course, immigration, which has had an effect even all the way up here north in Wisconsin, and violent crime. Those are 3 issues that work for Republicans. I always remind people when we get away from the horse race part of the polling, always go back to the fundamentals. And the fundamentals of the race have been that the Democrats have been upside down on the big issues, separate of whatever little honeymoon we have going on out here. So I don't get excited about any particular top line poll because those will go back and forth from here to the first Tuesday in November. I think what you see out there is people are hurting. That is certainly the case here in Wisconsin and will certainly be the case in Green Bay, Wisconsin tonight, and in La Crosse tomorrow.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.